It shook me, eh? I'm just carrying on a bit. You're an animal. Whether you are watching us on YouTube or listening to us on your favourite podcast platform, welcome back to the Torq podcast.
As our boy Mike Tyson would say, we're back in business, boys.
Would he?
No, he probably wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
We're back in business.
Last one, mate.
Last one for the year.
We're just scraping in.
Yeah. You're lucky that we've managed to pull our finger out to get one last potty out for the year.
It's been an effort too, I tell you.
It
A
has.
failed attempt last night. A failed attempt this morning.
Yeah.
Like we always say, life just kicking you in the balls.
Well, not only that, we're that far out of practice.
Yeah.
So, like, just...
It's got nothing to do with our piss poor planning.
No.
At all.
But because it's been that long, trying to set up, there's all sorts of nuances. When you do it semi-regularly, you're like, right, I know I've got to do X, Y, Z in that order, and that'll be mint. But because we haven't done one in donkey's ages, we get here, we plug everything in. The microphones are flat.
We'll get our second set. They're flat.
Fucking mint.
That's good.
Anyway, mate, let's have a bit of a yarn. Because there's been, look, it's been a few months, let's say. We'll just call it a few months. Yeah. And there's been a few things that have happened. So there's some talking points.
You've got some talking points.
Yeah, we've got some talking points.
Well,
You don't, because you don't come prepared.
No.
You're just the, what do they call it? It's like, oh, you're the looks, I'm the brains.
Oh, we're in trouble then.
Because
of your brains,
You're just
obviously.
here for the eye candy. Is there a Troy joke there?
No. I hope not.
Fuck. Well.
He's going bald, I'm going grey, so.
Well, he's not going bald. He went to Turkey.
Yeah, he's not bald, but he was.
Yeah. You are going grey, though.
Yeah, I am.
This year.
Wonder why.
Yeah, well, there's that. We'll get into what we've been up to in a little while. We'll talk about some other stuff first, some more exciting stuff. I know there's a bunch of you that have been wondering where the hell we're at, but, well, look, you can see behind us, if you're watching, you can see there's some cars behind us, so that's still a thing, but anyway. Heathcote Park Raceway. This is very old news by this stage, however. Shut. Lance Warren.
No more.
Dunskies. I think there's probably some news to be announced soon, hopefully, on the Heathcote front that someone's getting ready to reopen it again.
There's whispers.
Yeah, but it's a sad thing for Victorian racing. Obviously, Calder Park, not good for much at the minute. That needs a lot of work. Heathcote was... well, still is a great track. Particularly, look.
They put a lot of work into it.
Exactly, I was about to say. For all the things that maybe Lance Warren has done wrong to be in a position where he's had to give it up, man, he's put in some hours. You know, like really made some good improvements to that track. We went way back when, like 10 plus years ago when it was still a goat track. And then to see, we haven't been there in person. Would love to get back there, but... to see the improvements, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely brought it back up.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of passion in that area to get to where they got to. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people donated a lot of their own time and resources, money to get it to there. So it'll come back better than ever.
We can only hope. It'll be a sad day if it doesn't, for sure.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, people were running really good numbers at that track. You know, so much potential. There's a lot of this throughout the country. You know, we've got all these venues with so much potential, but you just don't have the capital investment to get it going. And the problem is we're so restricted with cars in Australia, as we know. We're preaching to the choir here, but it definitely doesn't help our case much, right?
Yeah, it's a dying thing, I think, amongst the enthusiasts.
But, I mean, some of the biggest workshops and the most successful workshops in the country are Victorian-based. So you can't help but feel a bit sad for them as well, because obviously research and design testing is done at the track. So what are they doing at the moment?
They've just got to do a bit of travel, I guess, really.
Which
At least they've got that option. We don't have that fucking option.
I was going to say,
well,
at least, you know, if you jump in a car, I don't know how long is it from Melbourne to Sydney? Probably 6 or 7 hours.
I don't know.
Hell of a lot closer than it is for us in WA.
Yeah.
Driving from Perth, even if what's the nearest track to Perth Motorplex? The Bend.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a long way.
Yeah,
that's
it's a bit of a
2
trek.
days. 2 days of driving.
Yeah, so
basically.
that anyone that lives over here this season, that's what they need to do. They need to drive at least to there to do any runs this season.
Yeah, that's right. Which I guess that's another really good talking point is Perth Motorplex is closed as well. Not permanently, not because of lack of management or whatever, but
Closed for maintenance.
yeah, extensive maintenance.
Mm-hmm. So that's exciting. Yeah, that'd be good.
So the track, what was it, about 300 foot out or thereabouts? There was a bit of a bump or a crack in the surface. Now, we're also pretty lucky in WA to have some of the toughest cars in the country, but they couldn't really run the numbers. So a lot of people were, like even our mate Jaden, he would drive from here to Heathcote to run better numbers because the track just wasn't there here in WA. We've got a world-class facility. There's no arguing that. It's probably one of the best motorsport facilities in the country. But the surface was rat shit. And it probably hasn't had much major TLC since it was opened in the year 2000. So it's, you know, it's getting on a little bit.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, closed for the 25-26 racing season to have a full resurface, which is pretty exciting.
A welcomed breath of fresh air. So it means no motivation this year as well, or next year, early next year.
Yeah. So Motivation 40 has been pushed to 2027. But, I mean, for good reason, right? If you didn't have the track, you're not just going to be cruising around the pits. No. You know, like they've got the burnout pit. They probably still could have done skids, but that's only one facet of the event.
Yeah, I wouldn't have went.
No, definitely not. Well, there's, like I say, if you're not on the burnout pit, there's nothing there for you. Yeah. Like the super cruising is probably even for the burnout guys, I reckon it's probably the best part of the event. The super cruisers, you know, chuck some friends in the car, head down the track, belt tires, you know, like that's what you go for. Yeah. And that's what the crowd go to see as well. So it'll be, well, let's just hope they get it done in time because as we know, projects
always blow out
over time, over budget. So we can only hope that it's done ready for the 26-27 season.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their schedule is, but hopefully they've left enough breathing room for blowouts.
Yeah.
Or not, so they know what they're doing, but they're a known entity. They've done it before, so at least they've got the right people doing it.
There was a bit of backlash on it though, right? When the tender was awarded, there was some news headlines that, the government's given money to a bikie honcho and all this sort of shit. And it's just like, well, those guys have jobs and businesses, right? Like, just because you wear a patch on your back doesn't make you a criminal.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, some of them have some shady back of house goings on. There's no questioning. However, these people are often successful business people, particularly in civil construction industries.
Yeah.
So let them have at it.
Yeah, they're definitely not the biggest criminals in this country, I'll tell you that.
No, as a lot of people will say, the biggest criminals wear suits, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Although Summonats isn't coming to Perth for motivation, they're making some big improvements over there in Canberra this year, Curto.
Yeah.
Made the announcement. I'm going to say that they listened to us because we said it on our podcast.
Oh, well.
So
Goes
claim
without
it.
saying.
Claim it. But they're putting in pedestrian overpasses at long last.
I'm not sure why they didn't think of that earlier, really.
I'm sure they did think of it, but
Like, it's not a big deal to make a bit of scaffold. Is it scaffolding or is it like a...
I'm not sure exactly.
I'm assuming it's
I've
like
seen
a
some
quick stage
photos.
style scaffold. It's fuck all.
Yeah,
Fuck all work.
I've seen some photos. I think it's going to be a little bit more semi-permanent. Like, I think, yeah, they've actually fabricated some overpass bridges.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, I could be wrong. I didn't
It's a good idea, but
100%. Like, you've been, I haven't, but getting around there looks like it'll be a nightmare. What's your experience?
yeah, it can be. Depends where you are and what you're doing. I know the Elite Pavilion was ridiculous when I went there. It was just like sardines. And so, yeah, I remember that being super cramped. But, yeah, it just depends where you are and what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to be trying to drive around something that you cared about paint, put it that way.
What about if you're like camping there, particularly? I mean, getting in and out as a spectator, staying offside would be one headache in itself. But if you're camping there and say you wanted to get from camp to the burnouts or to the Elite Pavilion or whatever, you're probably waiting on a lot of traffic, right? And even though they've got traffic management, I'll use that term quite loosely, but they've got traffic management there to help people cross or whatever. It can't be good. Like, you're just holding up cars which, look, notoriously probably can't hold their temperature that great anyway. So the second that they stop moving, they start cooking. But then to try and get 1,000 people or more across the road at any one point in time.
Yeah. It should probably free them up quite a bit, I would assume.
Yeah. I just hope people don't just park themselves on that bridge, just like, which would be cool, take photos and videos or whatever, but just like blocking traffic for everybody.
Yeah. Well, you might, if they have that problem, you can just block off your view so you can't really see, you know.
Yeah, true.
I dare say you get a better view from the side anyway, behind the barricades.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, you think about it at Perth, what's it called now? Carco Raceway? Motor Mall Raceway? I don't know. They've changed names about 5 times now, but it used to be Barbagallows. We'll just call it Barbagallows because we're old.
It's just Barbagallows, yeah.
You can sit trackside and that's all good and well, but then when you go over that overpass to the pits, you do get, you know, like a much different vista.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how they go. Stopping people grabbing on the cars and getting in the way and potentially getting run over by cars with hung throttles open and stuff. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Double skid row, another pretty easy thing to put in, because skid row lane, like the line to get in, obviously they could only fit a certain number of cars in the waiting area, then they close it off. Having 2 of them, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. There's going to be more places for you to park up. Again, you got cars that probably struggling to keep their temperature, so that can only be a good thing. And plus, you know, if you're getting around by car, you don't want to have to go all the way back to camp and then walk back to where you just were 10 minutes ago. You know, if you can park up, happy days. And improve venue access. I think they're finally listening to, and this has probably been a change of the guard when Out There Productions, or Out There Group, took it over. Now they're really listening to the feedback that they're getting. They're not just stuck in their ways of like, no, this is our blueprint and this is what we're doing. They're actually taking a lot of this feedback.
Yeah, and it takes time to figure it all out too. You don't know what sort of other issues the bigger fish to fry that were behind the scenes. Yeah. That's obviously what they've done. They've done you start at the top and you work your way down.
Can you imagine the engineering process and the OH&S process to go through for those overpasses would have been? Because public liability obviously is the biggest hampering.
There's Australian standards for all that stuff, so it's pretty sort of black and white, really. Like, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
You know, being a fabricator, we make, you know, stuff for people to, you know, buildings or whatever. You've got to, you know, handrails have got to be this height. They got to be stanchions have got to be here. It's all in black and white, really.
Yeah,
so
okay.
When you get to that, you sort of just already know what you need. It's just an engineer will have his literature that he pulls from and he'll spit it out and they cut it and weld it up and Bob's your bloody uncle.
I just sort of think, from like a position that I'm sort of working in at the moment, the change management process, you know, to the end user, because like you say, the Australian standard stuff's pretty black and white, cut and dry, but then the implementation can be really difficult.
Yeah. I'm assuming maybe, I mean, I don't know how it works, but their insurer probably does a bit of a walk around beforehand and goes, yeah, all good or whatever. So I'm sure they've got a list of things they need to adhere to, and people been doing it for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, still a lot of work.
Oh, 100%.
And there'll still be problems. As soon as you let humans in somewhere,
yeah.
they're going to find a problem somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Someone will figure out a way to fuck it up for someone else.
Jake from Jake's Chop Shop managed to get himself a ticket in.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Good.
I'm stoked for him. I think
it was funny watching his video how he was like, he just kept going in circles trying to ask without asking or without apologising. You're like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, just
Look, well, he did apologise.
He did.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he didn't. It was funny watching it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'd be able to do it any better, but yeah.
It's an interesting point though when you do have, say, an online presence and you've got a bit of a following, how much influence you can have. Like if that was a normal Joe Blow who'd done the wrong thing on maybe more than one occasion and had their permissions taken away from them, to get it back would be near impossible. But he's obviously found an avenue where they can work together, which is great. I think the crew that runs Summernats are pretty liberal in that they are willing to work with creators like ourselves. You know, they've reached out to us before, and obviously, again, we're on the other side of the country. It makes it a little bit more difficult, but they're quite progressive. So to see that, yes, he was a naughty boy, but he's maybe learned his lesson. Let's just give him one more shot.
I think he genuinely has sort of realised a little bit sort of the influence that he might be getting, you know. So everyone plays up.
Oh.
But you've got to draw the line somewhere. It's
It's
such a tricky thing. I fight myself in my head all the time about.
Yeah.
Because I don't like authority really at all, but at the same time, I don't think it's good to fucking wreck it for everyone else. It's just this funny balancing game of where, when you're at somewhere like Summernats, it's probably better to just set a good example and not play up too much, because there is real potential for people to get hurt or for damage to happen at such a congested place like that. Even though we're blokes, our brains don't really register that, especially when we're a bit younger. Like, no, I'm in control. I know how to do a skid, or I know how to do this. Nothing bad's going to happen. But that's what everyone thinks until the shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that if he goes there and doesn't play up and whatever, you can still have fun there. I mean, fuck, you don't need to play up like a complete fuckwit in front of thousands of people, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to just be chasing that clout non-stop.
Yeah.
You know, he can build a car and he does amazing things with, you know, the amount he can do with what he's got available to him. It's incredible.
Yeah,
honestly, it's incredible. So
he's the epitome of doing more with less.
Yeah, he really doesn't need to show you, because from what I see, because he's a good driver too. So you don't, leave the driving skills for the power crews or the whatever, and then just keep it cool.
Yeah.
At Summernats, because that's what it's really about.
Yeah.
Leave the driving stuff for the driving events where or get out on the pad.
Yeah.
Which he'll probably do as well. I don't know.
Probably.
So
let the car speak for itself.
But yeah, it was good anyway. It was good. And I could, if I had to bet, I would have bet that they were going to let him in anyway. So I just had a good feeling,
Yeah. That Monaro is going to look tough as guts once it's out there. Obviously, it's going to be raw. It's not going to be all painted and fancy yet. But there's probably almost an even cooler
for sure
part about that, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. You can see there's nothing hiding.
No.
You can see exactly how he's done it all. Not that, I mean, if you watch the videos, you've seen how he's done it all.
Yeah.
So, look, man, he gets in and gets shit done. That's the one thing I learned from watching his stuff. Like, he don't fucking wait.
No. He ain't like us.
He asks questions later.
Yeah.
Figure it out later on.
He doesn't get stuck in his own head.
Yeah.
Of all the possible things that could go wrong.
Yeah.
He just gets it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks sick.
Yeah, 100%. Smells smoke.
Yeah.
I think there's someone cooking a
Bushfire
barbecue next door or something.
Yeah.
Look, if you hear sirens and we make a quick departure, just be thinking of us. I reckon one of those Monaras is probably the epitome of like a summer Nats car for me.
It's one of my favourite cars
They've
ever.
got just such beautiful, like the shape of the rear quarters and everything, and particularly how Jake's doing it, shoving those wheels up in the guard, and tough as. I reckon it's probably the epitome of a summer Nats.
Yeah,
build.
when you're modifying a car, that's what I think of. Like for
Yeah.
one of the ultimate cars. Like they're a beautiful car anyway in standard form, but if I had one, it's not the standard form. I really like the stretched wheel, so at least a little bit of stretch wheel with a big tire up the back, nice and low, like how ProFlow does them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if I had to just pick one car ever that I could sort of have that someone else did for me, it'd be a ProFlow HK, I reckon.
Yeah. Or HTKO.
Yeah, exactly.
Street Machine Car of the Year, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
incredible.
Oh, dude, I remember the first time seeing a picture of that car. I was just like, get absolutely fucked.
Yeah.
Like, that is the shit right there. Everything is just so subtle, like right down to the paint color choice, and then you've got the wheels, and you've got the blown Noonan Hemi, but it's not super in your face. Like it's almost. So you look at, say, Tim Laidler's VL, and it's got that giant hat. Like that's big, in your face, blown big block. Like it's definitely there to party. Whereas this one's just that little bit more understated, if you could call that build understated. But you know what I mean? Like I think it's got the perfect balance of class with toughness, if that makes sense. Like I don't know if I'm articulating that very well, but
No, I mean I agree. I mean I don't think it's any more subtle than Tim's really. No. But that's just how it makes you feel, isn't it?
Yeah,
it
maybe.
might just be the colour or something like that.
Yeah, I think like the colour, like Tim's wheels are that bit more in your face than HTKO.
Yeah,
Obviously
and
the
you
blower
got
setup.
It's probably got to do more with the sort of car it is too.
You're
They're
right.
two completely different cars.
Yeah.
You need to do different things, or the same stuff will come across a little bit different. Like, let's be honest, how many cars do you see with blown big blocks? Like, say, how many Commodores do you see with blown big blocks in them versus H series Holdens? You know what I mean?
True.
That they've been doing it forever and a day, whereas you don't really see many big blocks in Commodores at all.
No,
Ever.
because they don't fit real good.
Yeah, so they have their impact in their own ways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but one of each. Go on.
Oh, why not? Yeah, let's just focus on getting one finished first.
But
can
yeah,
we?
I mean, I guess I'll segue a tiny bit into Jay Dooker's bloody Tirana build that he's doing and how
Yeah.
much different that is. Like we talk about classic builds and they've done a million times. A Tirana hatch has not been done this way ever, I don't believe.
No, and
Turbo,
I'm sure
turbo diesel and the fitment of the wheels and tires, which I actually don't mind. Like I think it looks good.
Yeah.
Really, it's not something I would do, but like I get it.
the 13 to 14 inch wheels with like the real stretch tires and the big fitment, like that's just his jam,
It's
right?
his
That's
signature. It's like you got your ProFlow look, you've got your low standards look,
yeah.
and if you've got I think that's how cars are. We always talk a lot about show cars and how cars look and stuff. But yeah, if you got a theme and you've got it sorted, like you're laughing.
Yeah.
Whatever the theme, as long as you stick to the theme, you figure out a theme that works.
Well, it's
and
basically
you're
a-
laughing. You know what I mean? You can have a car that's got the shittest paint ever. You know what I mean? And if you do the other stuff right with all your engineering and stance and all that kind of stuff, driveline, it's still just as cool as something that's maybe got a stock driveline but has 150 grand spent on everything else.
Yeah.
So
I dare say he's definitely upset a few of the more let's say more of the older
yeah,
crew.
but that's always going to be the case. I think you can't. At the end of the day, you can't. If you've put good work in on something, it will always be seen. Like you can always see the energy that someone's put into something.
Yeah.
That's why no one's ever really going to be impressed with a car that's sort of just as fun and just as cool, but like a bolt-on car. Like
No.
you don't get impressed when you see a 750 horsepower F6 or XR6 turbo, do you?
No.
Because a fucking infant could build that car, really. You just go on the internet, buy all the stuff, choose your right guys, and you've got a wicked car. But
Yeah.
it's not something that's going to blow your hair back from a looking from the outside in.
Yeah.
Super fun car to have and drive.
Yeah.
And
Instant
it's
gratification.
and it's a great way to go. But yeah,
Yeah.
you're not going to get the same sort of accolades as someone like Jay or whatever that's spent just probably thousands of hours really on builds, or at least hundreds and hundreds and hundreds anyway.
Yeah.
You can get lost. You can get lost in builds like that. So I think a lot of people, if you don't do your own work, sometimes you can spend friggin' hours just trying to make a bracket for something that you want to mount a certain way. And if you had 3 arms, you'd save some time, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, it's the instant gratification. I think it's just like anything else in life as well, right? It carries over to cars. But like you say, you can buy the catalog car. You just go tick the boxes. You take it to a place that's drive in, drive out within a day or two, with a tune, make 700 wheel, and you jump in it, and like you say, fun car to have. Like, I don't think there's ever a time where 700 horsepower on the street isn't a fun thing to have.
No.
But it doesn't carry the same weight as, say, a 550 wheel horsepower car that's had the extensive work done.
Yeah.
The thought put in the right places. And that's not to say
Which not everyone cares about that either.
Yeah, you're right. It's just, I guess it's just how we are though,
Yeah,
right?
it's just how we think.
And most of the people that are watching this probably follow a similar train of thought, I would have thought. But yeah, it'll be cool to see. I mean, those OM 606 engines, they're supposed to be pretty stout. Like, handle a
Apparently.
fair bit of power.
I didn't look him up. I did watch one of his videos where he said, look into them, they're pretty cool. So.
Yeah. I remember, it might have been Al on the Skid Factory. I'm talking years ago, was talking about one, and I sort of had a quick look, not a deep dive, but just a bit of a quick look. And yeah, like, they're not super common and plentiful here in Australia, but particularly in Europe.
Like a lot of
obviously.
cool things?
Yeah. But particularly in Europe, like obviously the Mercedes stuff over there there's a lot of it. So
That's their Commodore, isn't it?
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and they've done a lot of cool shit with them. So I'd be interested to see how it goes. Obviously, he's running a pretty tight schedule, so I can't see anything mind-blowing going on.
He posted a photo up, I think it was maybe yesterday or this morning, I seen it, with all the bonnet on, and it's looking really good.
What an amazing sort of platform he's built for himself, though. Like, didn't he just ship that bus to New Zealand?
I think so, yeah.
That bus
to
just went to New Zealand. I think that
thing.
Tirana's going to the US for Summonats in Florida. I think I read something. So, man, it just goes to show, if you put the work in, you can go places with this stuff, hey? Like,
you've just got to keep ticking off the stuff, eh?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, for
Don't
sure.
Don't lose focus.
Summonats in America is going to be pretty awesome, though. And what a venue to have it at the Freedom Factory, because you've got the roundy round track with the Burnout Stadium and everything, and then you've got the drag strip right next door. Like, you've got a really good platform for a wide variety of cars there.
Yeah, when is that?
You've put me on the spot now. Is it March?
Doesn't matter.
Mid-March.
It's next year, isn't it?
Yeah, mid-March next year.
Yeah, no, it'll be good.
Yeah, and I'm sure this has probably been in the planning since Cletus came over here many years ago now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many more Australian cars make their way to the States, or the ones that are there, if they've maybe extended their stay based on that. Because obviously when you go over there on it's like a race car permit, you've got 2 years, and then the car's got to leave the country. It can't stay.
Yeah, okay.
So, for instance, like Warbird has come back here and has gone back again. That's all sweet. But some of these guys that have sent their cars over a while back, they'd probably be running pretty close to the end of their visa, I would have thought.
Yeah.
And they'd have to get out. Obviously, we're seeing people like our mate Matt McCabe, his car's coming back. Would think that Mick Hinchy and Jacko's Lux, they've probably kept their stuff over. I'm not sure what their timelines look like, but you would think that they would definitely be staying for it.
I've enjoyed watching Jacko rip it up over there. I didn't even know who he was before he went over there. Never heard of him, never seen it, but he's another guy that's got like a unique car and can drive the wheels off of it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
For those who don't know, give him a quick rundown on his rig.
well, I don't know much about it. All I know is that it's a Toyota Hilux, 2-wheel drive, and it's got like a unique, what is it, Vortec? It's got a centrifugal blown LS in it with like a 8-into-1 header, so it's got like a cool sounding exhaust note and a unique looking engine bay, and he can just drive. He's probably one of the best I've ever seen, right up there with Lynchy, if not better. So, in my opinion, from what I've seen, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, he's stacking up trophies to prove it, right?
Yeah.
He's pretty much just like go over there, won an event. I think he won $10,000 or $5,000 US at the Freedom Factory within weeks of being in the States. It's like that can't be a bad thing.
And probably the most low budget car out of all of
Yeah.
the cars that have ever been sent over there from here. There's probably not a cheaper build car, really, because I think they
Probably.
do all their work themselves. He's a handy dude.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
like
mean,
you can just see, like, it's just a basic sort of a combo, and he makes up for it with his driving ability, obviously, but also just doing the couple of unique things. He didn't go the Valley Mount supercharger like most do. He sort of went a little bit different way and did the header the way he did. And I never would have thought that'd make such a difference, but it does actually sound pretty good.
yeah, 100%. Even like Brody Lake, he's
Yeah.
a local to us. He did
Exactly.
the 8-into-1 on that VF wagon, and
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds insane when it's on song. Hey,
Yeah.
really mental.
Yeah,
But
probably a lot of work to make it happen, but yeah,
Oh,
worth it, I think, for what you're doing.
packaging, man, no good. It's
Yeah.
your worst
Yeah,
enemy.
I've thought of that and like, no, thank you.
But I guess we're following a similar trend with these three people. You know, you got Jake, you got Jay, and Jacko. J names for one, but also they're just go-getters. They're guys that kind of act first and ask questions later. You know, they just get shit done, which pretty admirable trait. You know, it doesn't always make for great content if you're just getting stuck in and then it's like, oh, here's an update of all the things I've already done.
Yeah.
Which
It'd
can
be like that, though. If you don't have someone there holding the camera for you, that's honestly a massive roadblock for me. If you're not around and I want to do something on the car and I realise it has to be filmed, sometimes it's the difference between anything getting done and me just going, you know what, I don't feel like it.
not today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, that's
Yep.
because sometimes that's just a bit of a roadblock, and it's a bit of a mental block as well. Because at the end, for fabricating, for me, it's a lot of creativity. So you don't want to be fucking. For me, I don't want to be trying to think of
Camera angles.
and where the light is and you know what's going to look good. It sort of just wrecks your flow a little bit when you're depending on what you're doing. If you're just
Yeah.
doing nut and bolt shit, whatever. But when you're trying to create something, it can be a bit of a head fuck.
Yeah. No, I'm hearing you. No, you're right. Sometimes the camera is the difference between getting in the shed and just staying in the lounge room, for sure.
Yeah.
Mac and Matuk's divorce. I've got this. I've got it
I
written
thought
on.
you might bring that up, eh?
For those of you who might not be aware, Mac Racing, Murad's got a fleet of gangster Skylines, but Mac Daddy or Big Mac, the Pro Mod style car, which is built with the intentions of breaking the import record, breaking RB records, which I think he did, but then lost it.
I think they got a mile-an-hour record, maybe.
Yeah, okay, that might be it. Yeah, the mile-an-hour record, but
They're well on their way to doing it.
100%.
Like, I've really enjoyed all the videos they've put out on that, especially sort of the last 5 or 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool, like, getting... Because I really like how they just keep the camera rolling when they're just dribbling shit.
Yeah.
I like the banter stuff. Sometimes I'll click past that. Like, sometimes people think they're funny than what they really are or whatever. But when you're like getting to more technical stuff, like with like Jamie Miller is on there, or like
Tech
Chris
on
from Kinetic or whatever, like I thoroughly enjoy listening to just little tidbits of what their thought patterns are.
Yeah.
And just soaking that in. So I like the style of content that they do. It's super high quality. What's their guy's name? Tom. Like, yeah, he's done a cracker job of capturing what they're doing over there for sure.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what you were saying before, though, right? When you've got someone who that's their sole job is just to capture the moment and stitch it together in a story, like you can make some amazing content for sure. And they've done that right. They've got the right guy on the job to follow him around.
I could listen to Shane Tecklenburg talk all day. Yeah. Honestly, like he's such a cool guy, super humble guy, and honestly one of the best out there. Yeah. And you know, when guys like him can work in with Jamie and Chris, and they all work together as a team, like, you know, there's no egos. I'm not going to go down the path because we don't know what happened really, but I can guarantee you there's ego clashes. There is probably one of the main catalysts as to why it didn't work. Yeah. Looking from the outside in, that's what I think would have been the main catalyst. It's just ego, but it's a double-edged sword. Ego is what gets these people to where they are as well. It's what drives all of us, whether you want to admit it or not. We all have an ego. We're all blokes. We have an ego, and that's what drives us in a certain way. Some bloke might want to do it. He wants to make the most money and do the greatest things. Another bloke wants to beat him doing it the cheapest way, or whatever. It just depends what your motivations are. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed watching it and seeing the problems that they have too. Some of the problems I think, like, fuck, I'd beat myself up for some of the problems they've had. Like, I would be hard on myself, and then you realise these guys are the best of the best, and they have these problems, you know, like particularly with the fabrication side of things, like things not sealing up or things breaking off. Like, I don't know, I kind of learned a lesson there. Maybe you don't have to be so harsh on yourself. Like, we're all human, and, you know, sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. Yeah,
and to their credit, I think, like, Mirad was pretty well, like, on it from the start. Like, I want to show the full journey. Like, this is a pro mod style car. Make no mistake, that's probably $1 million race car. You know, it's got the best of the best. It's got a PMS chassis that was built in Puerto Rico, then sent to the States, and then they put, well, originally it was a Matux RB in there with a bunch of BRP parts, and, you know, like, it's got the Liberty Trans, it's got all the best of the best stuff.
There's zero. They've put it all out there, and there's zero excuses for them for not breaking the record, really. Yeah. And they'll do it. I have no doubt at all. Yeah. They've had a lot of problems, a lot of teething problems and stuff like that. So yeah, I think there's just starting to sort of click in now, and it won't be too long.
If you haven't seen it before, guys, go check it out. The Mac Daddy vlog. That's MAKDDY. On YouTube, you can check it out. And yeah, these are guys from Australia who are trying to mix it with the big dogs in America, and they're having some success, but they're showing all their struggles, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and the other channel that I like watching of theirs is That's Racing. The That's Racing podcast is good to watch as well. I think not the last one, the one before was really good, where Herman's sort of going into what's involved in some of his PRP stuff, you know, like he invested $5 million to get that RB cast block program happening, you know, like this is passion driven stuff. This is not bloody, you know, you have to want to really love to do this, because you're sticking your neck out a good long way, and it might take a considerable amount of years to even break even on some of these ventures that those guys are going for. But I have no doubt they crack it. I think their whole goal from the start was maybe, you know, they paired up, whether it was Herman and Murad are like, we got to push this RB thing strong in the US, because there's a lot of guys that are into their GTRs and stuff, but there could be a lot more because they don't really know the RB engine as well. Yeah, is what they need to. I think a lot of them just are dealing with the sort of factory issues and sort of getting turned off and going the 2JZ route.
Well, they just didn't have access to the RBs, right? It was only recently they could start bringing Skylines in, you know, to start with. So they just didn't. Whereas we had, obviously, the VL had an RB engine in it. We had the R31 Skylines and Pintaras and stuff. They all had RB engines in them. You know, we had
importing was strong.
Yeah. In the early 2000s, a lot of people were importing. So we've had access to these things for a long time now. And yeah, it's interesting to see. I mean, like someone like Shane would say, you know, the engine's an air pump, so if it's got the same displacement and the same valve train, it doesn't matter whether the turbo's on the left or the right hand side. They should do what they're going to do. But I don't know, the RB's got something pretty special about it compared to a 2J, in my opinion. We're RB guys.
Yeah, I mean, also it's a saturated thing over there. Like, car guys like to do a little bit of different stuff, you know. You don't want to look exactly like the bloke next to you a lot of the time. So it's just sort of a bit of a fresh a fresh go, really. Just like a lot of the guys over there that are jumping into the Barra platform and getting motors sent over, you know. Like
Yeah.
Ford guys probably, want to do like the 2J kind of thing, but are a Ford guy at heart. Barra's a perfect platform to go down, and it's a good platform, and it's not super expensive. So,
Yeah.
anytime you can do something a little bit differently and not have it cost you 10 times the amount, it's a good thing.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
I wonder what, it'd be interesting to be a fly on the wall to see what the fallout was. So now that all of the Mac cars are now with B2R.
Well, he's spread them all out, really, hasn't he? He's got.
Well, I guess,
He's got, 2 or 3 or 4 different people looking after his stuff now. So.
Yeah. Whereas before he had most of his eggs in one basket with Matuk. But yeah, I think one of the points of frustration for Anthony would have been that there was a Motec in the Pro Mod car, which I guess when all the rest of them are running Motecs, it kind of makes sense. But he would have liked to have seen a Haltech in that car, I'm assuming.
He probably, I don't know. Who knows? He wasn't tuning it.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was the talent there to steer it. So that might have been a bit weird. Who knows?
Particularly because
we just don't know.
Because he built the engine as well. Like, might have been,
Like I said, they would have got a lot of knowledge off him. He was sort of one of the top guys over here. He's been racing this stuff for a long time and knows what works. And also he's got, not just him, everyone has their own ways of doing things. It's not, the old saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Maybe the way they were skinning the cat wasn't the way he wanted to. And look, who knows?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It is hard to say, but if I had to put money on it, there would have been a clash of egos or a clash of motivations, So I'm sure, because he makes his own parts as well. So
True.
That was another thing I thought of, was maybe, he was wanting to push some of his products, whereas Herman, once again, we obviously have no knowledge. We don't know these people from a bar of soap. There'll be a lot of people that know more than us, but maybe it looks like Herman's investing a lot of his time and money into this program as well, and he obviously wants to prove his part. So you got two different entities trying to push, parts of the same category.
Yeah.
That's what my Magnum PI skills tell me. So
yeah, right.
We might find out one day. But either way, I think we all want to see the best for all parties. Really, no one's in the wrong. It's just at the end of the day, it's going to probably bring a stronger competition and a more fierce competition to this particular sort of style of racing and internet record, really.
I was just going to say that, it's going to breed some, there's obviously probably a little bit of resentment.
Well, I've seen some back and forth on something on Facebook. I can't remember what the post was, but Matuk and Abe were both had a tiny bit of back and forth.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah. There's going to be some motivation there for sure,
Yeah.
and that's what you need. You really do need that, and I think no one wishes anyone any ill, but everyone wants to win. Those sorts of guys do anyway.
100%.
Those sorts of guys are going to do anything to win. So, good.
Yeah.
We get to sit back and see it all.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can get out, start running some numbers at the track. Obviously the roll racing thing's pretty big over there, which they've all got really good cars for, but it'd be cool to see Matuk's bring VL God back out, and
I'd like to see him, because that's that's chassis not comparable.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean? To say
the Don.
Yeah, or it's definitely not comparable to that. But even some of the more street style stuff is probably got some nicer shit on it than what his looks pretty old. It's still got steel doors, I think, last time I seen. And
yeah, okay.
It's a pretty old kind of style car. It'd be good if he sort of went out and built a car from the ground up, sort of with all the latest and greatest, and did his stuff. I think that's probably where he's looking to go to compete with these guys. So we'll see.
Exciting times.
Yeah, oh yeah. The quality of cars and stuff is just getting absolutely out of control now.
Yeah.
They're all pretty much like pro mods in steel roof and quarter shells. A lot of the stuff that we like now.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was looking at. Say Tinge Soldiers, they were getting their car ready for the Christmas tree race the other day, and they were sort of Charlie Brown's back with the nitrous combo and all that sort of stuff. And I was looking at that car, which is like an all steel, all glass body car. Obviously, they've had the front cut off it and they've tubed it out, whatever. But you can put the steel panels back. Or you
Well, I think it's got steel doors on it. They're all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it'd be interesting if we, and I think we're starting to transition because obviously we're probably 10 years behind what they do in America, but I think more and more people are, again, so restricted on the street car stuff. So there's no point trying to have fun there. Your fun's been squashed before it even starts. So I think more people are starting to, they've got that car, they're never going to get rid of it anyway. So fuck it, let's just make it something worth having. Chop it, put some bars in there and actually make it quick.
Yeah.
That all steel, all glass, sort of no prep style car is a very exciting kind of car for me. I wish we had that style of racing here in WA because I'd be all about it.
Yeah.
I'd find it.
It's like you said, we're so far behind over here, and there's not really enough shops to accommodate the amount of people, and so it costs a hell of a lot of money. I think it's just the cost to do anything properly with anything, but cars in particular.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's just a tough one. For me anyway, especially I've noticed the last few years, it's like far out to do anything because, we only want to use good people and good parts. It's like, it's just not as easy as it once was.
No.
So it's kind of a hard sell for the average guy that wants to just go out and have a bit of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we've only got one track, or if we had like double the tracks in the country or triple the tracks, you could have something this time, like a couple of things during the week, not like once a month or whatever. And the Wednesday stuff's like the street meet stuff's a waste of time for most people most of the time. So.
Yeah, once you get to that level, and to have a car or to build a car that's only good for say 3 events a year, it's like you say, it is a tough sell for sure. Especially
if you can't just take it out for a little hot lap when you want to go and get ice cream, or take the kids for a quick lap or whatever.
Yeah,
it's a hard sell.
Buzzkill.
Yeah. It's just the way this country is, and I don't think it's heading in any better direction for the kind of things that we like. So
no, and just in general, like we've seen some events unfold in the last couple of weeks here in Oz, which I don't think they really speak to how well for lack of a better term, it's not the Australia that we grew up in.
No,
that way.
No, not at all.
So hopefully we can see some change in the next couple of years. I think obviously it's going to take a pretty major event to trigger it, but we'll see people stand for what we believe in and bring some normality back. Be nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Bit of a change of pace, mate. Let's get on to what we've been up to. What have you been up to, mate? Fill us in. We've got a lot of people. Well, I've got some questions here actually. I put up on Instagram a bit of an ask us some questions, and we've got a few people that have poked through, so we might be able to answer a few through here. Mick says, do you guys still work on cars?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Not in the same capacity that we have in the past. A couple of reasons for it, I guess. But yes, we do. You can see we've still got the cars in the background.
These ones have hardly been touched really this year, to be honest.
They have, yes. I'll probably go into more depth on that a little bit later, but the wagon's been stripped apart. I don't know if you can see past Curto there, but the trans and the engine are on the ground. The engine's had most of its stuff ripped off it, and it's going to get pulled down even further shortly as well for some more upgrades. But
it is in the final stretch.
I was going to say that car is approaching what would normally be like final assembly and then wiring. So we are getting closer with that one. It's kind of embarrassing because looking at how much work there is to be done on it, it's really not that much, and it's been sitting here for so long waiting for it. So really do just got to pull finger and make it happen. But that'll be a project for the start of the year, and I really want to focus on that car before I move back over to my SLE. it's not fair on Caden to have that thing sitting here doing nothing when we've got most of the parts now. So over the last few weeks, we've sent a lot of parts off for powder coating, ceramic coating. While the engine bay's been empty, we've done some painting in the engine bay and on the engine itself, because the paint job on the engine, look, it might have looked all right on camera, but it was failing bad. It was looking pretty haggard. So stripped the engine right back to bare cast again, and we've given it a fresh 2-pack paint job. Range of upgrades for those of you listening. It's going to get better head gaskets. It's going to get new clutch. We've got bigger injectors. You know, the list goes on. So, but we've got most of that here. We've just got to start working on it, which should be good. What about yours, mate?
Mine hasn't changed much in nearly a year, which is not cool. I did a few tidy and up and stuff, but honestly, the 2 main cars I worked on was I did another whole bunch of work on Nick's Maloo, and then I did a whole bunch of work on his wagon, which was kind of unplanned, really. That wasn't. It was supposed to just be supposed to be a couple of little jobs. That was sort of, it wasn't my job. It got sort of farmed out. The wiring and stuff got farmed out to another friend of ours, and then the snowball happened. So it ended up getting like, another new complete custom fuel tank on it that turned out, really good. And we mounted with, 6-speed conversion to 400 and all
Turbo
new fuel
400,
like complete new fuel system from the fuel tank to the fuel rail. So, pumps, hanger, bloody, you name it. And then it just goes on. Exhaust. So.
And that was originally what it was coming for, right? It was going to have the turbo 400 conversion, and the exhaust was probably the 2 main jobs that you were going to do on it.
I didn't really. It wasn't really supposed to really have anything to do with me. Essentially, it was. I recommended a friend to do the wiring, and then it was like the handball was like, speak to them and they figure it out, and then sort of the list gets bigger, and then there's not a lot of other people around here that are available to do the fab stuff. So it's like, Kirk, can you do this? Yeah, no worries. And then it just, like anything, just more and more stuff happens. And then also just, the way I work, I take my time and do things. So I'm real happy with them. So everything turned out really mint. Nick's going to be pumped on it once he gets it back, which should hopefully be really soon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But by design, that was, like you say, you weren't meant to do much of the work. When you were doing a little bit, it was kind of like, look, you've already got your hands full with the Maloo and finishing your car. Let's just do this and get it out the door. It was a conscious decision from the both of us that, right,
not a single thing got filmed on that car at all.
When the wagon comes, there's no filming. Let's just get
and
that
it's
one
a sick car too. Like
we may
got all the nice bits on it, just like these Maloo.
Yeah.
So
pending availability, when it does go to the dyno, we may check that out, and we may do like a walk around video at the end.
Yeah, I'll ask Nick. We might just do an overview of it maybe once it's all done.
Yeah. But yeah, the Maloo obviously took a fair bit of your headspace as well for a long while.
Yeah, well,
there.
I haven't done any work on any cars really for probably the best part of I don't know, maybe 6 weeks, maybe longer.
Yeah.
And it's the first time in about 4 years I haven't had someone else's car in my shed.
Quite literally. For as soon as one car would go out, another one would come in either that day, the day after, whatever. And I think we worked out that, for the last 4.5 years, there's been someone's car in your shed. And then it's probably been 6 years or so. We've been tinkering, doing stuff for other people's cars or whatever over the last 6 years straight, which is...
Time does fly, eh?
Yeah.
And then when you reflect, you're like, I beat myself up and get embarrassed over it. I'm like, there's no reason why you couldn't be a lot further along with your own car or even some of the other cars we do, but, that's just how it is.
Yeah. But speaking of your own car, it's pretty close. You have done...
It's very close.
Yeah.
I'm in a mental struggle of what I want to do with it, whether I want to, I've got camshaft and all that kind of stuff there, and head gaskets and head studs and all this stuff. And I should have really put it all in by now, but I keep fighting between, I can't be bothered, or, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I really just need to decide to either get in and do it or just get it on the dyno, because it's pretty much ready for that. I need to just do terminate a couple of sensors really, and
weld that thing in your intake.
yeah, I can block that off. That's no dramas. So
Yeah.
yeah. I
But
made a catch cam for it, actually. That's something I did for it.
oh, good on you, Dal.
Yeah, I know. I'm a mad dog. So.
But yeah, I don't know, this year, like I say, we've kind of we've dropped the ball for one, but because we've downed tools, and I don't know, for me personally this year, it was sort of, I had to take some time just to focus on my own health and my family, I guess, for lack of a better term. So this year, I don't know, not bragging, but I've lost about 15 kilos, which was much needed. My health has definitely improved. I've focused on sleep. I've changed to a different job this year, which I don't know if that was a good or a bad thing. It's been a great experience, and I've had, I mean, yeah, we can talk about the experiences in a minute, but yeah, like I say, focus on family. So we picked up a caravan. I think I've mentioned that in a previous podcast. Bought a new caravan, and just been spending a bit of time with kids, and just, they're at that age where you really do have to be present. And you can't be present when you're telling the kids to get out of the shed, because they can't be in your shot because you're filming for a car. So I kind of just had to take a pause for the cause. And now you've got to try and find the balance where you've got work, family, cars. You've got to try and find
the
that
time is
synergy.
definitely there. It's
Yeah.
not. It's. I mean, you can lie to yourself, and we can lie to you. And
No, I
say,
said you've got to find the balance.
yeah. I'm just saying from
Yeah.
my personal experience, it'd be so easy for me to go, yeah, look, I don't have the time because, you know, I either work or my kids have something on literally every single
Yeah.
day during the week. We got the weekends off, but that's, you know, that's the
Yeah.
weekend. So, but yeah, if I could stop getting on the phone as much and
Yeah.
just going out and doing a little bit, that'd make a world of difference.
For sure.
I kind of want a clear schedule in my head. It's just the way I work. I want to, like, yeah, all right, get into the zone and hit what I want to do and have no other distractions. That's sort of how I like to be. And it's hard to find that
Yeah.
sometimes, but and mainly on my own car. When I've got someone else's in, it's easy. I don't ever want to let anyone down, so it's a lot easier for me to get stuff done on other people's cars than what it is my own. That's what I find anyway.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
When I've got something I know I have to do and someone's relying on me, it gets done without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's my own stuff where I fall over.
Yeah. But yeah, towards the tail end of this year, I wasn't even in the country. So I've, like I say, I changed jobs. I've
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. I've moved into like a projects position, which is just a secondment. It's just a little something for me to do something different for a little while. But I went to, so we live obviously in the southwest. I was in Perth for a week, and then I came home for the weekend, and then I flew to Brazil. I was in Brazil and US. That was probably just over 2 weeks, and then I was home for a couple of days, and then I had to go to Brisbane, and then when I came home, it's like middle of December. So after that, you know, you're just in the throes of catching up with family and friends for all the Christmas parties and blah, 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 all that sort of thing. So, but yeah, there's just been a lot of time away, which hasn't really helped. Because then obviously spend that time away, you come back and you want to start making some progress, but you've also then got to spend time with the wife and the kids because they haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. So I hadn't seen you, Kurt. We hadn't seen each other for probably nearly 3 months because we'd both been busy on the lead up to that trip, and then obviously I was away for a while, and yeah, it was just really good. Even just the other night, we just had some beers.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's a recharge, right?
Yeah, you forget how good it is, to just shoot the shit.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess, like, you were sort of in the same boat. Like I say, you were working on those cars. Your wife was pretty quick there for a little bit. Like, it was just flu and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the same thing. We were trying to get podcasts off the ground or whatever, and it was just like, it just couldn't happen, right? We just had to put some family first and just take a bit of a break. But it has helped us rejuvenate, revitalize. It sort of relit the fire because the fire was getting pretty dull there for a minute. So yeah, it's a good thing. It can't be a bad thing. There's obviously a fair few questions here of, will we go back to videos in 2026? We'd like to.
That's the plan.
We'd like to. It's kind of disheartening that if we stayed consistent, our first upload was October 2019. If we were to stay consistent from then till now, where we could be, because I truly believe we do have great quality content. You know, we do produce good quality content for a couple of backyard hacks who, you know, like, I say backyard hacks. I know you take offense to it because you're a highly qualified tradesman.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a backyard
No,
hack.
no.
But I do hack shit up in the backyard.
Yeah. You know, like this isn't our profession. Building cars isn't our profession. But I think we've been very lucky to surround ourselves with the right people, draw the right knowledge from the right knowledge bases, and we're able to share some of that in layman's terms to the everyday Joe, which is something pretty special.
Yeah, we have good people that follow us too. I think the people that we get to see and engage with, they're the people just like us. So
yeah,
that's what we like.
And we do love interacting with you guys, whether it's, you know, you get in our DMs or we bump into each other at a coffee meet, or, you know, we're at Motivation or whatever. Love bumping into you guys, and Kurto can stand around and yarn for hours on end.
Yeah,
so
don't start a conversation with me if you've got somewhere to go anyway.
100%, yeah. So we do appreciate it. And guys, if you are listening, depending on what platform you're on or whatever, if you've just come across us, it's free for you, but it means the world to us. So hit that subscribe button and share this with one of your friends. We really do appreciate it. And it does help motivate when you guys get in our DMs like, hey, like, when's the next video coming out? Or, you know, how's that going? Or, you know, when we have those conversations, it really does give us that sort of reset, like, oh shit, yeah, I haven't done that for a bit. So don't think that you're annoying us or like we don't want to hear from you, because we do. We love it. Yeah, videos 2026. Is Kurt still alive? Yes, here's proof of life. It's AI, but it's proof of life. What's the go with the builds? Yeah, you've pretty much run through yours, Kurto. Yours is just about ready for the dyno. We just got to decide whether or not we're going to put that cam in and the head gaskets. I think we should, because it means only going to the dyno once. But
you know what's stopping me? All the horror stories of these fucking
flat
tappet lifters just taking a shit, because I'm in two minds. I kind of can't be bothered snowballing anything in with this car right now. I kind of want to just get it going and just leave it alone for a bit.
Yeah.
And just not be...
Enjoy it.
Yeah, that's right. But
yeah.
So if I've got an engine there that's 3/4 sort of, you know, there in a way. But I know there's still a lot of work left to go. And if I do the engine, then I'm going to want to do the turbo. You see where we're going here? I want to change this and that. And I don't want to just do one thing. And I'm trying to just avoid that altogether.
Yeah.
That's why I'm using this standard motor. I just don't care how much power it makes. I want to be able to put my kids in it and just go and fucking drive it.
I think if it
shits a lifter and then just puts crap all through my motor, I'm going to be annoyed.
Big mad.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily care about making whatever extra horsepower that's going to give me, but at the same time, it's like, just do it, you pussy, and then whatever. Because if that happens, then I'm not fucking around with it. I'll either just throw it in the corner and just whatever.
A lot of the time, the issue with wiping a face off the lifter or chewing up the cam lobe is lack of lubrication, obviously. So if we take the right
lifters
steps,
are shit these days.
They are.
That's the drama.
So, well, a lot of people send their lifters off to be faced straight out of the packet. They get them, you know, because they've got to have a slight taper on them.
Yeah, that's right.
So that they spin properly. But that's getting into a bit more technical discussion that's way over our head. But I think if we do it, you got to put plenty of engine assembly lube on there, and we'll do our best to prime the oil system. You know, like if you take the oil sensor out, and we
Well,
can,
mine's prime now. It's good. It's with a fresh
yeah, when you
motor.
when you take all of that apart, you know, like you want to reflood it. So, you know, if you take the oil sensor out and we can make like a bottle and put an air nozzle on the end of it and we can pressurize it so you flood it with oil before we even hit the key, I don't see how we can fail other than a lifter failing, which if that was going to fail, it's going to fail anyway, right?
Yeah, and I guess the other thing I was thinking of, which I'm going to catch up with, I don't know, someone that I know knows shit, Jace, or someone. I'll bother him for information like I always do. That's actually, I'm not even going to tell you where
You're
he's
a
from.
real piece of shit.
Yeah,
Right?
but he helps me all the time, and I'm really, really appreciative of Jason. So yeah, I might hit him up to see what I need to do about just the because I overthink a lot of stuff, and I'm thinking
Really?
this MLS gasket, it says on it like, "Oi, needs to be smooth, bruh. Like you can't just put it on a prep that's made for like a paper gasket. These are made for like a super fine finish, which the Holdens don't have that from what I gather. So I'm like, do I need to do anything to this? Because I've heard of people spraying them with certain things to get them to take up.
Bit of Hylomar, mate.
That's all right. That's just a bit of advice I need to get.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to bother people as well. I'm that sort of cat that's like, I don't want to just be annoying cunts for information all the time. Like,
Yeah.
figure it out yourself, mate.
Yeah. My build is still chilling here. Even though I've taken a break from working on the car, I have kept my finger on the pulse. Believe it or not, this SLE, as gangster as it's going to be, has pretty much been built solely on marketplace, hasn't it, Kurt? Just about everything.
There's a lot of marketplace
engine,
stuff on
gearbox, diff, my ECU setup, my dash, bloody failing things like bushes and rubbers and whatever that you get brand new. Everything's
there. The car itself's all new.
yeah,
Just all the
but
shit you put
But
in
even
it.
then, the rear quarters, the front valence, that's all marketplace. Everything's been built off marketplace.
But that's only because that's where else are you going to buy shit
Yeah.
from others.
So
Yeah.
I've been keeping my finger on the pulse and collecting some more bits and pieces. So we've got a lot. We've got a lot of stuff. Again, I really want to focus on that wagon and get that back to its rightful owner, and then we can really start having a crack with the SLE. The delay on Motivation 40 being pushed back to 2027, that kind of lit a fire in my belly that, hey, maybe I should get it ready for the Elite tent at Motivation 40. I think, I strongly believe the car is good enough to go. We've just got to get it there, which probably means so the car was kind of going to have to be built twice to a point. It was going to have to be done for Rego and then done for show to a point. We're probably just going to have to send it, build it as basically just a party car that's good for nothing else. But put all the gangster shit in it, which would make it elite worthy, and just get it there. So that's a proposition. SLE, Elite tent, Motivation 40. That's a goal to work towards.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. But yeah, it may mean we're going to need some extra help because I don't know if the two of us are going to be able to get it done, and I don't know if my wallet is strong enough to get me over the line. So we're going to have to, or I'm going to have to, swallow my pride and ask for some help, because that's something that I'm by nature very, very bad at. You know, I'm gonna have to think through some products and services and stuff that I'm gonna need, and ask for some help, essentially, to see if we can get this car finished. So if you're someone who knows somebody, or if you are a direct, manufacturer or service provider or something who you think you can help, please, I'd love to hear from you. It would mean the world to me to get this thing done. It's something that weighs very heavily on my shoulders, and it would be amazing to get it there. Particularly, I mean, would it matter if it was Motivation 41? No, but it doesn't sound as cool as Motivation 40.
And that's another year further along.
That's right.
We're not
exactly.
about
Yeah, I don't want to go to another Motivation telling people how my car might be ready next year. I don't want to do that again. It pains me to do it. You stopped going to Power Cruise because of that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Talking to people and telling them the same story about, oh,
Yeah, I've got a car at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one cares,
Yeah.
mate. Do you regret selling the black ute? Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I
That's
do and
only
I don't.
because you haven't got anything
double.
else.
It's a double faceted thing, in that I used to lean on that car a bit. In that, yeah, I'd take that to the coffee meet, or I'd take that to motivation, or and I could film some content with that. If things were a bit quiet, if I was waiting for parts, or while the car was in paint shop jail or whatever, I did enjoy having that car for those reasons. It sort of kept my interest peaked. And even yourself, like when your car wasn't running, it's like, come on, Kurt, let's go to this event. We'll all jump in the ute. And it was just like, it was a good avenue for us to keep our toes in the water, if that makes sense. And once that left, I mean, the attachment to the car aside, that did sort of dampen my spirits a bit.
Yeah.
Then there
I
was
think we'll
also,
use the VR can be that. I think VR will be sort of
Yeah,
ready by
yeah, it
January,
will.
So
yeah, it will.
that can take the.
That'll help lighten the load, so to speak. But then there was the attachment to the vehicle. I didn't think I was emotionally attached to it as I was. Once it left, it did sadden me for it to be gone. However, I do take some solace in knowing that I've given it back to its rightful owner, I guess. Like it's gone. The car's gone back home, and it'll live forever in that home. So, do I regret it? Yes.
I don't think you would if your car was done.
If my car was done, I probably wouldn't
So
miss it as much.
it's not as much regret as it is.
And also, the money from selling that car did buy a lot of stuff for this one. So, by selling it, it has accelerated finishing the SLE by a great amount. It probably brings the finish date forward like 18 months, but yeah, it is what it is. It's done now. I can't buy it back. He ain't selling it back to me. So.
No.
Would you rather one long-term ground-up rebuild or multiple small builds? It's a good question.
From what angle would I prefer to do that, or would I prefer?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's, yeah. So if we were to, would you prefer to have one, say, SLE project, or would you rather multiple sort of smaller but equally fun projects?
I don't know. It's such a open to interpretation question.
It depends.
Essentially, really, I only like cars that have been gone through top to bottom, front to back, by myself mainly, and how I want things done. So, like, yeah, if you give me the choice, emotional attachment aside from my car, because that car's means everything to me, whether it was standard or whatever. But if that car just what it was, and I had the choice of having, maybe two more basic cars, I would pick the one strong car every time, without fail. I don't get caught up on having like numerous cars or whatever. I just want something that represents what I like in cars. So
I think it depends on what you're chasing as well. Like, I get where you're coming from. Having done both to a point, I can see the pros and cons, right? You can get, in the same amount of time that you're doing one big build, you could probably build 3 different cars with different purpose. So you could have one that's a bit of a streeter, one that's a skid pig, one that's like a radial car or whatever. It kind of helps keep you sharp, or keep your interest sharp, because you're kind of doing different things. Getting bogged down on that one giant build can be laborious, but I think this goes back to what we were saying before. I think you get far greater satisfaction from the long build, because you've had that long build up and you know that everything is done from top to bottom, front to back. I think the gratification is there for the one long-term build. In saying that, if you've got a one long-term build, say this one's done, I probably won't do another one in a hurry. I'll be doing
Like that, yeah.
I'll be doing
You
some
are
turn
right.
and burn.
Yeah, it's a good question, but it's kind of a hard one to answer because it's very open.
It depends on what you're chasing. It depends on the result that you want.
Put it this way, I'm the same. Like, I don't know when I'll ever get my car to a point where I don't want to touch it again. It's just a never ending, evolving thing. I pretty much want to change everything on it already.
Yeah.
And it's not even remotely close to being something I'm happy with. But once I've sort of got that to a point where I'm not really doing much else, I'm definitely not going to want to do something like this.
Yeah.
I'm sort of definitely more interested in cars that sort of look, they're in good condition, and then we just cut them up and throw driveline in them. That's kind of what I like.
Yeah. Just going through a few more of these. So yeah, there's another one. What's the end date for the VH? We just covered that. Any more work on the VR and the VH? Yeah, just covered that. There's a couple here that go to travel. So Maddie's asked us, you should head to Northern Nats in July or Power Cruise 100 for the 7-day event in September. And then Ryan said, you guys go on to Summer Nats in the new year. We'd love to do a bit more travel in 2026. The problem with that is that, one, Torq Hub has to be able to fund it because we can't inject any of our own money because that's just taking food out of the mouth of our projects. So Torq Hub would have to be able to fund the travel, and also the time away traveling is, again, double-edged sword. It takes us out of the shed. So we've got a couple of events that we really do want to get to, hey?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. We're going to have to build up what we've got, which
Yeah.
is not going to be traveling. We're going to have to build up our following a bit more and get us to the point where we're worthwhile working with companies and stuff like that to promote whatever they're doing that we believe in, and then that can sort of grow from there.
And we've had some potential opportunities for that in the past, but obviously all those offers would be off the table now because we've been so dormant for so long. So we've got to prove...
It's another reason why we haven't just jumped at everything as well. We don't want to jump at something when we can't provide what we need to provide. We're not going to do it.
No. We're both quite lucky that we work good jobs and we earn decent money, so we don't have to.
Yeah, this
beg
is not a
borrow
money thing.
No,
we're not coming into this to make any money.
Nah, we don't need to beg, borrow, and steal for internet fame because that's not what we're after. What we've been getting out of creating content is already far more than we thought we would by networking with people and meeting you guys and creating long-lasting friendships. Like some of these people we never would have met if we didn't create content, and some of them are honestly some great friends now, which is the greatest reward.
100%.
Way more important to us than getting a free ride to Summer Nats if we do X, Y, and Z for the company. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, integrity's big to us. Is the short answer. But shit, if there is opportunities for us to travel, if it works, we'd love to, because we want to get out and meet more of you and experience different events. Obviously, we've only been to a limited number of events, being out west, and we'd love to see some different stuff. How they do Power Cruise in Sydney or Brisbane would be epic, or going to Drag Challenge. Obviously, that's an ultimate goal for the both of us. Holden Nationals, we'd love to get back to that. I don't know, that they did that at the Bend last time, I think, because obviously Heath gets out of action, but yeah, who knows. We'd love to, guys. We really would. Christmas gift for a young car bloke. My wife tries, but car parts cost a mint. And someone else said, oh yeah, what do you want Santa to pull out of his sack for you? I saw a meme the other day, and you might have seen me post it, but it pretty much said, stop asking me what I want for Christmas. If I wanted it, I bought it. And if I haven't got it, you can't afford it either. Pretty much hits the nail on the head, doesn't it?
That'll work.
I think when it comes to Christmas gifts, guys, as great as it is to get a super cheap voucher or whatever, the thing that I do with my boys, and this obviously doesn't work for everybody, but experiences. Buy them experiences. Don't buy them toys that they forget about or parts that just go on the car. And, like it might not be the one you really wanted because that was just outside the gift budget, if that makes sense. I reckon, say if you're on the East Coast, buy them those Summer Nats tickets for Christmas, you know, or get them Bathurst accommodation or, you know, something like that. I reckon if you can buy someone experiences, it's worth far more, personally. What about yourself, Curto?
I'm a bit the opposite.
Yeah?
Depending on where you are, sometimes, because I'll get locked in, I'll be working on getting my money together to get this or get that or whatever. So it's like, just give me some cash, or don't spend my cash on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah, don't spend the money from our joint account on something that I didn't want.
Yeah. Depends where you are.
Yeah.
And what I've had both. I've had both experiences. My wife always tries pretty hard and always does. It goes above and beyond for me, so I certainly can't complain.
No. How do you work full time and have family time, but still need to finish a project car?
Well, the project car doesn't get finished, obviously.
Yeah.
Not in a respectable time period, anyway.
Again, if we look back to when we first started the channel in late 2019, where our life, like, since then, I've had another child. We've both changed jobs about 3 times each. Your kids have obviously gotten a lot older. You did have 2 kids, but your wife was also a stay-at-home mum for a couple of years, which is a massive help when
For
you're trying to do this shit.
most of the years, more than a couple.
Yeah.
She's really only just sort of started getting back out there now, really.
Yeah, was
my choice.
Yeah.
I pushed pretty hard for that.
But when you've got someone who can cater to the children while you're in the shed, that it gives you a lot of flexibility these days. Because my wife worked the whole time. She runs her own business, so she works pretty hard. And then as the kids are getting a bit older, like you say, now it's, on Tuesdays and Thursdays you got footy training, and then on Saturday you got BMX, and it's, like trying to maintain that whilst also both working full time or working
at different
rosters.
Times.
Yeah, like your wife.
Yeah,
is
we're
at
not
work.
we're not Monday to Friday. Oh, you are, but I'm not.
No, but I mean even just within the household. So like your wife will be working, whatever her roster is, and it doesn't necessarily match. Well, what it does is her roster offsets yours, so that when she's at work, you're at home, so you can look after the kids. So now all of a sudden your time has evaporated really quickly. So trying to find that balance that we were talking about before is something that we struggle with. We've struggled with from the start, but it seems to be getting harder. And as the kids get to a certain age, it'll get easier again because they're going to be far more self-sufficient. You won't have to entertain them quite as much. They won't want to know you anyway, so you just go out in the shed and do your thing. But for now, we're going through it. We're sort of in the midst of it. And I know that isn't a great fucking brochure to the blokes that don't have kids yet.
It's good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is. We're sitting here saying how bad it is and we can't get out in the shed and can't do this, can't do that. But the other stuff that you guys don't get to see, the reason why we do that stuff is because it's just as, if not more, rewarding than this.
And if you are like super productive, you can still do a better job of it than what we have as well. It's not the perfect excuse. It's
we're
just the
learning.
one we're sticking with.
Yeah, we're just learning. We're trying to learn. We're imperfect humans. That's the problem. Will the day come where car manufacturers drop this EV stuff for V8s again?
Don't know.
It's
You
hard
never
to say.
know what's going on with that crap.
It depends on who's got the money and who's pulling the strings at the time. Basically.
I can't imagine it's going to get any better anytime soon, put it that way. Nothing has to make sense for them to do it, does it?
No,
No.
because a lot of it hasn't made sense.
At the end of the
so
day,
far.
if people like EVs, they're going to buy them and they're going to use them and they'll work for them. And if you don't,
I think they have their
don't.
place. Like I think as a commuter shopping trolley sort of thing, where if you've got a solar array at work or at home, where you can just bring it home, plug it in, and you can do the to and from work or go to the shops or whatever. Yeah. They're quiet, they're comfortable, they drive themselves. Like you've got entertainment on board, you've got all these things. They do tick a lot of boxes for that task, only that task. Once you want to try and go long distance traveling or whatever, it's fucked. It's good for nothing.
Yeah. And who knows how profitable they would really be without all the fucking subsidies that they've managed to get over the years. Like, realistically, I read something quite a while ago that Elon doesn't even actually make money off selling the Teslas. He was making the way he was making any profit was from selling his credits, his green credits, which at the end of the day is just red tape that the government hamstring others with, and they use our money.
Yeah. Yes. Lose money on the car to gain the green energy credits, so you can sell it to 3-letter mining companies for big money because they need it.
So it's all it's all a big system, and it doesn't work for us at all. So who knows?
It'd be good to see the internal combustion engine have a bit more of a revelation, and I think there's stuff that can be done to make them cooler, better, faster.
For sure.
But we've just got to get there.
Yep.
I think that was pretty much like I say, a lot of these questions were kind of the same. Like what's going on with cars when you film more videos, etc., etc. There's a couple of really good ones there though. Here's one. Shout out to all the good fuckers that stuck around this year. To the rest, they can all choke on a dick. We didn't say that. We're just agreeing.
I wouldn't blame anyone. What do you mean? There's not really anything to hang around for.
Yeah. But if you did hang around, obviously if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but you'll probably see a bit more interaction from us on there. We like to upload stuff onto the Instagram stories semi-regularly, and you can always get in our DMs and have a yarn, or you can send us a voice message for the podcast, which if you go to our website, torqhub.com.au, red button on the right hand side, click that, send us a voice message, and we can play that on the pod.
We love it.
We do love it. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, you can also buy some merch at that same website. We've got some hats, shirts, hoodies, stubby holders, socks.
We might have to
stickers.
do a new shirt for next year, mate.
Might have to finish the car so we can put it on the shirt. Maybe a white VR of some description.
Yep. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. Speaking of voicemails, though, we did get one. It was probably shortly after our last podcast, so it's
It was a long time ago.
A few months old, but we'll get into that and we'll have a listen. What do you reckon?
All right.
Hey fellas, just watched the last podcast, and question for you is, if you had to start over again, what job or career would you try for, or would you try harder at school? What would you do? Just with the way the economy's going, and you were talking about kids don't go out and go to pubs or clubs and that sort of thing, and the cost of living, what career would you guys go for now? Cheers.
It's a good question.
That is a good question. Are you going to go first, or am I? You go first.
I don't know how to answer it. So I was the biggest dummy in that I didn't finish school, even though, look, my intelligence level, I could have gone to university, I could have done this, could have done that. I just wasn't motivated enough. Probably hung around with some people who maybe didn't have my best interests at heart at the time. So yeah, look, you can play the what if all you like, but for someone who didn't finish school, didn't go to TAFE, didn't do a trade, I left school to go to Hungry Jack's for a couple of months, and I started as a hardwall plasterer for a while, and I've just kind of skipped a couple of jobs here and there. I still think it's kind of worked out okay for me in a weird way, right? It does limit me a lot. It's something that I do think about. Like if I was to stop doing what I'm doing now, if I was to not drive trains anymore or work in the railway industry, I think my level of experience and qualification, I'm kind of pigeonholed a little bit, which isn't the greatest. But at the same time, the dynamic shift of the working environment just in the time that I've been working, and I'm not that old, I'm 36, 37, 36. just in the 18 years since I've left school, the shift in jobs and technology and stuff, like a lot of the jobs, say, I've had this conversation with a guy a little while ago. He sort of said, what would you want your son to do when he leaves school? And I sort of had to think about it, and I almost think that the job that he'll end up doing as a career probably hasn't even been invented yet. I think the shift with AI and stuff, like, look, so I'm giving you a very long answer now. If I was to say a short answer, knowing what I know now, if I was to go back and start again, it'd be very technology based. And I'd stay up to date with it, and particularly automation, programming, coding, that kind of stuff. That is very, very valuable in today's day and age. But in saying that, with going back to my previous point, the rate of acceleration and change, we don't know what would be beneficial, I don't think.
I'm the opposite. I wouldn't want to do that, because essentially technology is going to take over all that shit. It's not going to need imperfect humans interacting with code. Like, I'm kind of in a good spot, really, because I work like a manual task. Like, for those of you guys that don't know, I work in sort of maintenance on mining and stuff, and I'm a welder, boilermaker, whatever you want to call it, and they haven't really got the technology to replace me yet. And it won't be here for a while. I dare say all the guys that are doing accounting and white collar stuff are going to get replaced pretty easily and pretty quickly, as opposed to the guy, the blue collar guys on your ground. Your plumbers, your bloody all that kind of stuff. That's will sort of be the last to be replaced. And also, there's not a hell of a lot of new blood coming into the industry, so that means we're getting more and more scarce, which in a way it's a good thing, because the rates come up and it makes it more beneficial for us at the moment. That's until they start importing like cheap labour that's not as skilled as us, and they start fucking everything up. But until then, it's kind of will be sort of the last sort of thing standing, I think. And it's not that they don't have the technology to replace us yet. It's just that it will be, the cost won't be there yet.
It'll be a slow rollout. I'd say for things like you say, they've got robotic welders.
Production welding's different. That's a different thing altogether.
So they'll probably, again, they won't want that imperfect human doing that weld. They'll want the robot doing it. But you'll need the person to set that up, because, like you say, production is different to maintenance. You're going to need something that's mobile, portable, whatever. So you'll need someone who, A, knows the trade, like yourself, to set up that piece of equipment.
I think they'll eventually won't need it. You won't need it, I don't reckon.
No?
Nah, I don't think. But that's...
Robot will just walk up there and do it?
I think it'll know what it needs, really.
Yeah.
Like, they're getting pretty clever.
They are.
So.
It's something that we should probably lean more into, particularly for like editing and stuff like that. If we were smart men and we knew how to drive.
I kind of don't like feeding. We're going down the AI rabbit hole. I don't fucking like feeding it too much stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if you're on pages, you see these bots coming on and asking questions, and they'll ask the same question on a couple of different pages. They're just information farming, really. You're feeding it all good info. I don't like the idea of AI. Put it that way. I mean, there's no avoiding it for sure, but I don't like the idea. And the main reason I don't like it is because there's only like a very small amount of people that actually own all this shit. So they're gonna have control of all the information and all of everything. So it's getting super centralized, everything, and a lot of people aren't going to have any option when it comes to making an income. That's sort of not a good look.
Yeah.
And I think essentially that's what a lot of these places are sort of looking for. They just want a whole bunch of NPCs that just shut up, do what they're told, and if you don't say the wrong thing and you do this and you do that, you'll get a little credit in your account and you can keep living. But that's not what I like.
No.
So.
No.
But yeah, I think trades. I don't think school does anything for any of us, honestly. Like, a lot of people will raise their eyes at that and not agree with me, and I'm happy for that. But schooling in most of the Western world probably not what we've been made out to believe. You know, it hasn't really changed since bloody the World War. You know, they really just need people to work in factories back then and just be compliant with authority and, you know, shut up, do what you're told, don't ask questions. I think most of the most successful people in this world probably didn't do much at schooling at all. You know, I think a lot of it comes down to having a vision and believing in yourself and finding markets and creating something, really.
We look at, like, I think there was an interview with Adrian Portelli, and they sort of said, oh, what would be your top 3 books or whatever that I should read? And he said, I didn't read any books. You know, like, there was no book that I had an awakening or an epiphany or whatever. And I'm sure, look, I've read a few books here and there which sort of help you with adjusting your mindset and your habits and things like that. This is good information to have, but you don't need to sit at a desk and read these things. Like, you can get it elsewhere, and you can go further. I agree with you. I think you can go further than the school system would ever allow you to.
I think the only thing the school system really does is hold you back. Really, in a way, it's just it's very very much like a programming sort of thing from a young age.
It's unfortunate that it's it's such a necessity for, say, us to go and work. It's, for lack of a better term, it's a cheap daycare.
Yeah.
Which is a horrible thing to say.
Yeah, it's just the way things are or whatever, really.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. If I was to go back and start again, I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know if I'd be a welder, but
yeah. If I knew then what I know now, I think both of us would have lent a lot heavier into Torq Hub a lot earlier. Because that honestly is where our passion is. That's where our interest lies, and we probably could have ridden the wave of the algorithm or like the come up. If we, like I said, if
wouldn't even have to be,
we're quite risky.
Wouldn't have to be content either.
No.
Really, you just realistically, what you hope for your kids is that they find something that they really like to do. And they
make money from it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And make it a way that they can make a living. So
yeah,
that's essentially what you want, really.
Yeah, yeah. And like I say, but Torq Hub wouldn't necessarily have been a content engine, but it could have been something that we could have. You see, like, there's been other companies that have done it. Like Cletus is one example. He does create content, but that's probably a very small portion of what he does, you know what I mean? And to build an empire, I don't think either of us really have an aspiration to build an empire of that size. But like you say, to be able to follow a dream and work within your passion and just be able to turn up to that every day, it wouldn't even feel like going to work, you know? Like, it wouldn't feel like you were clocking in. You'd just be rocking up, doing your thing.
That's
and
kind of the
managing
secret
books.
to success in a way.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, it's just how it is. It's just the rule of the universe, really. If it is like doing this, we enjoy doing this. It only costs us money to do this. We don't make any money from this.
No.
All said and done. So, like I said, it wouldn't have lasted anywhere near the time it has if we were trying to get anything out of it.
Yeah. And I think that sort of shows in some people's content as well. You can tell the people that are doing it because it is their main income driver, because their entire video becomes an ad. You know, like, it goes from product to product. They hide it, or they try to hide it really well, but at the end of the day, when you got mouths to feed, that's what you got to do.
Well, I don't mind that if it's good stuff.
Yeah.
If it's stuff I'll quite happily look at ads all the time if it's relevant to what I'm interested in. And it's good stuff.
If it's presented well, yeah.
If it's just a bunch of Chinese-made engine blocks, or fucking, I don't know, some other copy thing, or some pharmaceutical, like, that's what it mainly is, isn't it? It's pharmaceutical shit that you
I'll
don't
tell you
need.
what, so having never been to the US before, and I know you haven't, but then watching TV there one morning, I was in Texas, I was in Fort Worth, and I was just packing my shit, getting ready to leave the hotel, and turning on the TV there, the ads, it's all pharmaceuticals. I could not, like, because obviously we can't have that in Australia. There's laws against it. They can't do it. But over there, and it's literally, you got product A, and it's like, these are real women.
And they've got
taking
like the
this."
sickest bloody population.
Yep.
going.
And then, but even like half of the ad is a disclaimer. You've got the ad of like, these are real women taking this medication, which is going to help them with ovarian cancer or whatever. And then it goes, consult your doctor. Don't take this if you got high blood pressure. Don't take this if you're taking any, like blah, 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 blah. It sounds like one of those government ads where it's got like the voice. Literally, half of a 30-second ad is a disclaimer at the end of it saying, you probably shouldn't take this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I couldn't get my head around it. It was interesting. Although
Yeah, it's funny, hey.
the rest of America was sick. If you turn the TV off and you go outside, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, the business model for pharmaceuticals, I don't know if anyone's aware of this, but if you like get healthy, they don't make any money.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you realise that.
A healthy patient is a client lost.
Yeah, we need you just sick enough to keep buying our shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, let's not go down that path. I didn't bring me hat with me.
No, yeah. Quick, Mom, get the fire.
That's enough.
No. Thanks, guys, for listening in. Before we wrap it up, just want to say a massive thanks again to all of you who do get around the content, who interact with us online. Huge thank you to our supporters in Reed Speed and Penrite.
Especially Reed Speed. He has been there on more than 1 or 2 or 3 occasions for us this year with bits we've needed. He's always hitting us up every year. You ready to do another year, boys? Like,
Yeah.
we just love the guy and we love his stuff.
Again, it's a person, like it's a friendship that we've built that we probably wouldn't have if we didn't do this. This is some of the special people, and you know, we're very grateful to have these people on our team, you know, that have our back. So big thanks to Dan for everything that he does for us. And yeah, I'd love to, like I say, if we can do some travel next year, if we get to Victoria, I'd love to help him by filming some content for him, make some reels, do a podcast with him, get his story. I think it'd be amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you guys know of anyone else that you think might be interested, or someone that you want to hear from on the Torq Hub podcast, let us know. We'll see if we can make something happen in 2026.
Yeah, that's probably something that we can sort of lean into early on in the year. Just try and not, get a few out. Well, there's no racing happening over here, so it might be easier to get hold of a couple of cats. So
blokes might be sitting around doing fuck all.
Yeah, and that's sort of a little bit easier for us to sort of, we can get in, have a yarn, and get out. Whereas the build video is definitely a bit more labour intensive, both on the content side and the editing side. So
yeah, for sure. I'm not going to edit this at all. I'm just going to push it out.
Yeah, perfect.
It's Christmas Eve, guys. It's Christmas Eve, so you're going to get a potty for Christmas. I'll probably get this uploaded. Hopefully it'll be ready to drop tonight.
Yeah.
If not,
Beautiful.
Christmas Day.
That'll work.
Hope you all have a very, very Merry Christmas and a safe, happy, and most importantly, healthy New Year in 2026. Look after each other, love each other, get around each other, get in the sheds.
I was going to say, get in the shed. Take it from us. Get in the sheds.
Yeah,
Try
get
and
in
do
there.
something. Try not to leave it too long like we have.
Please don't. Talkhub.com.au for all your merch. Like us on all the socials. Share this with your friend. Give us a bit of a bump up so that we can get motivated for next year. And we'll see you on the other side.
Thanks, guys.
Just a little bit closer. Get a little bit of room there.
Just my long spider legs, I'm so tall and staunch and shit. I need room.
Yeah.
Fuck, you know.
I know. Yeah. I wouldn't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you know what it's like to be tall and staunch and big and shit, but I do.
I don't know what it's like to sit in an economy plane for fucking hours with my long legs buried into the seat in front of me.
I need to get this thing one ear and get it. Ooh, there we go. Oh, nah, it's back. Oh, come on, cut.
What are you trying to do?
Trying to get it to one ear so I don't have to I can't handle it. Yeah, I know. Nah. No ears it is.
You don't need
I
it.
can't do it, I don't know why. I just
don't
can't
need
do
it
it. I don't have
to-
the CPU to fucking handle
Right,
it.
shut your